Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Shai Bashem Rukakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone that taught us His truth, the 100% truth, and rule well, and to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, the nation of Israel that begins with the 144,000 who are the prophets today, and also that great multitude of men, women, and children the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the true Hebrew Israelites according to the Holy Scriptures. And this is your brother Dawadah coming with another lesson. And this lesson will be entitled, This Truth Will Bring You Peace in a Place of Nothing But Chaos. You know, and this world is nothing but chaos. But I wanted to go over peace, you know what I'm saying? You know, and while being in this truth, you know, that's how we obtain peace, you know. The Akim and the brothers and and the sisters, they can relate to what I'm saying, you know. And we get that mental peace from this truth, you know what I'm saying, that we have, being thankful, that we, was taught by the head apostles, you know what I'm saying? And we thank them for that through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai touching their spirit and teaching us, And let me go to Romans chapter 8, Romans chapter 8, verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Yeah. So you see, in this world, these people, they follow the things of the flesh. That's what they're acquainted with. That's what they adapt to. But what we're following is the right spirit by following the things of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's taking heed to this truth, this word. So we can't be worried about the things of this world. You know what I'm saying? And basically what I'm saying is trying to make it in this world. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all vain, man. You're not gonna get nowhere, man. They already have it set up where you're gonna think you're getting somewhere and you're gonna get pulled right back into quicksand. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta get out the quicksand. And that's dealing with this debt. You know what I'm saying? That Esau has us as slaves. You know what I'm saying? But the list of the eyes is the what is it's a saying, the list of the eyes is the pride of life. Those things we have to do not, those things we have, you know what I'm saying, we have to let them go, you know what I'm saying, which is, because we're not following after the things of the flesh. We're following after the things of the spirit to help us grow in this crazy, wicked world, you know what I'm saying, And after following these things of the spirit, that is how we obtain peace, man. We have attained peace through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai to help, you know what I'm saying, cast off those things in the world, you know what I'm saying, and become stronger, in our faith, you know what I'm saying. And we don't need to worry about the things, you know what I'm saying, in this world that people care about. These people care about what they care about: the money, the status, prestige. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to worry about that. That's what these people are worrying about, because what they're worrying about is they're feeding their flesh, like it says here in Romans 8 and 5 again. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. Yeah, that's what they mind. They mind the things of the flesh. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit, yeah. And that will be the hopeful elect, because we're after the things of the spirit, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to do what Yahweh Shem Shai said do. And that's being obedient to his word and his truth, you know what I'm saying? Not worrying about the things of this world, because This world is nothing but, you know what I'm saying? What this world loves is if you go along with the world, they love you. They'll love you. You know what I'm saying? You know, when this world is nothing but fake, you know what I'm saying? It's fake. You know, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. Because riches profit not in, because riches, you ain't, I mean, because like I said again, it's all about money, status, you know what I'm saying? It's prestige. And what Proverbs 11 and 4 says, for riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. Yeah. So that's why we don't need to worry about the things that please into the eye. Because of the wrath that those people are going to be, because of the wrath, you know, like it says, riches profit not in the day of the wrath, you know. And this is what's going to happen to these people, man. Since they're worrying about, you know what I'm saying, you know, pleasing the flesh and worrying about, you know, the things of the flesh and trying to make it in this world as far as, you know, money, you know what I'm saying? You know, they're gonna receive what? They're gonna receive death. They're gonna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You know. But what we're trying to do is, you know, we're trying to, absorb Yahweh Shem Shai. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to cast our you know, we're trying to put our things up in heaven instead of on earth. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're worrying about our salvation. You know what I'm saying? You know, fear and trembling. You know, and what the scripture said, the wisdom is the fear of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're putting our trust in. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need to worry about, you know, money, because money is trouble, you know, for us. You know, if you put your time and effort and, you know, trying to spend all your time making nothing but money, you know what I'm saying, all that's going to bring is nothing but sorrow, you know what I'm saying? And then it's going to bring death. And like the scriptures say, riches profit nothing in the day of wrath, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be destroyed if you put all your trust in that, you know what I'm saying? Let's go back to Romans chapter 8, verse 6. You know, Romans chapter 8, verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death. Yeah. And most of these people are carnal minded. But to be a spiritual minded is life and peace. Yeah. And for example, if you see someone with a nice car, you know what I'm saying, they are trying to get something, you know, if you see somebody with a nice car, you will see the next person, like our people, you know what I'm saying, trying to keep up with the Joneses. They'll say, man, I'm trying to get something better than that, because they're trying to put their focus more on carnal things instead of spiritual things. You know what I'm saying? And like the scriptures say, but be spiritually minded is life and peace. Yeah. And that's why we have that peace, man, because of this truth. You know what I'm saying? Because we're thinking spiritually minded. We're not thinking like these knuckleheads thinking. And most of the time when these people, you know, get materialistic stuff, like some nice truck or car, most of the time they can't even afford it, man. Because what they're doing is they're being led by the flesh, and they're worrying about what's pleasing in that way instead of worrying about the right things. And another thing is women, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, dudes try to get so many women, you know what I'm saying? They want the finest woman, you know what I'm saying? You know? And that's what and that's what they care about, which is a carnally minded, you know. And what that leads to, that's going to lead to death. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's read that back again. Romans chapter 8, verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Yeah. And that's what we have, man. This is what we want to obtain in this wicked world, is peace. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that in these people, that they only care about the carnal things of this world. They don't care about things that, you know, is important, you know. So what matters to us is to be spiritual minded. You know what I'm saying? And the spirit, causes peace in your life. You know what I'm saying? When your mind is set up and focused about the things above, on heavenly things, it's a comfort. You know what I'm saying? When you don't worry about the things that's of this world, you don't care. Because the things these people stress out about, we don't stress out about, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worrying about, birthdays where people have to make these extravagant birthday parties for their little kids. You know what I'm saying? Wow, I ain't got the money. How I'm gonna come up with the money, man? My paycheck was only this, but I gotta pay this bill. And what they do is, instead of paying their bill, they'll go have a party. You know what I'm saying? Stressing out, putting themselves more, in a bad predicament. You know what I'm saying? But see, we ain't caring about that, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worrying about trying to, and then on top of that, celebrate these celebrating holidays, trying to go above and beyond. We ain't caring about that, man. Because what we're doing is our mind is on heavenly things. You know what I'm saying? We trying to obtain the kingdom of heaven, Matthew 6:33. We seeking the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And what leads to peace. And this is what leads to peace in our spirit. You know what I'm saying? Being able to understand, that this truth brings us peace. And that's all we need. You know what I'm saying? It comforts our spirit. You know what I'm saying? It brings life to our, to our everyday, walk. You know what I'm saying? Just meditating on this truth and this word, growing in it, and thanking the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shah. And being spiritual mind brings peace to your life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said again, And the only way you can understand that is what I'm saying is you have to be spiritually minded to understand the peace. You know what I'm saying? And, like I say again, the acumen brothers and sisters, they can understand, what I'm speaking of. You know what I'm saying? Because they know. Since they probably have cut off a lot of stuff in their life, it probably just brought nothing but peace, man. Because they're not trying to worry about keeping up with this world. You know what I'm saying? So we don't care about the things of this world. You know what I'm saying? We have our mind set up on the kingdom. And we're focused about heavenly things instead of stupid things that this world loves. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to walk after the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And when you try to walk after the spirit, it causes peace. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about the things that, these people are worrying about to bring them but chaos. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to live it up. They're trying to party, to get the paycheck instead of them paying their bills. They trying to go out for the weekend, you know what I'm saying? Or go on a trip knowing that, it ain't even like that no more. Man, these people are struggling now. But what they'll rather do is they'll rather, feed their flesh because they're not doing good like they normally do. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing good like they normally, was doing good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens, Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So so these people, man, especially these people around the world, man, they'll kill somebody over it. You know what I'm saying? They will do all kind of, especially our people, do all kind of wicked acts to receive this fiat money, which is fake. You know what I'm saying? So like the scriptures say, you know what I'm saying? For the love of money is the root of all evil, And if you love, money and you put money before Yahweh Shema Shah, then your mind is thinking carnal. You know what I'm saying? You chasing after something that will get you in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But a spiritual mind person brings peace. And that's what this truth does. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need to be worrying about riches because we got the true riches. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because wisdom is true riches. You know what I'm saying? Not this made up fake money. You know what I'm saying? This Federal Reserve money, which is nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what the scripture said, wisdom is better than rubies. Let me get that. Yeah, because that's what's important. Nothing that you know, nothing on this earth, man. It's like what I'm saying. Like you remember that show, the Gong Show, when it had those 3 prizes and everything, and they just psyching people up, geeking them up to choose. You could choose anyone. You could choose any door. You know what I'm saying? Or choose any one. Which one? 1, 2, or 3. You know what I'm saying? And that's how this world is, man. They'll paint you a dream. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that behind closed too. I mean, you choose. What I forgot what they used to pull up, but curtain number 2. You choose curtain number 2, thinking that you're gonna be okay and you are all right because you worrying about the things of this world. You know what I'm saying? What it can offer, but what it's offering you is nothing but headache and drama and death. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Proverbs 8:1. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Woo! So this wisdom is all we need. You know what I'm saying? We don't need things of this world. You know what I'm saying? Which is carnal. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't add any substance to your life. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. It's wasteless. Energy. You know what I'm saying? It's something that is not going to complete you as a person. What's going to complete you as a person is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This truth, this word, Sophia. You know what I'm saying? This Bible, this word, which is going to bring them peace. And that's what I've, have in my life now. I have peace. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about what this world is doing, because this place going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Second Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Yeah, and we know who trouble us through. We've been behind, man. They so ahead of us 200 years or even more that over time we just been troubled by them. You know what I'm saying? And who we've been troubled by? These devils, which is the Edomites today. The biblical nationality is Esau. Joshua wasted away, the red man. You know what I'm saying? The Most High going to recompense these devils, for all the trouble that they have done to us. Basically oppressing our people, putting our people through number stress every day. Still doing this to this day, man, working us for long hours. You know what I'm saying? Keep raising things, you know what I'm saying, financially, putting us in a bind, you know what I'm saying, not able to afford to, take care of whatever you're taking care of. If anything breaks down in your house, man, they don't even pay you enough to be able to fix that. So you got to save up the money, even with your car, man, going bad. You know what I'm saying? You got to save the money up just to be able to pay it or get it. But through all that trouble and everything, seeing it's a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them trouble you, even the trouble that they have done to us, man, we still have peace in our heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking about the hopefully elect. You know what I'm saying? Verse 7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us, when the Lord Yahweh Shemashai Mashiach should be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. Yeah. We all was troubled, at one point in time. Even when we was in this world, you know what I'm saying? When we was in this lost, dark world, man, we were being oppressed. But now we're out of the matrix now, man. You know what I'm saying? We're realizing, what is important. This world is not important, man. Not here. No, not Esau kingdom. So whether you know or not, you know what I'm saying? We've been troubled for a long time, man. And now it's time to come out of that, out of this madness, man. Flee Babylon, you know what I'm saying? Micah 2:10. This is not our rest. Because when you look at this world, you worrying about the things of this world. When you trying to make it in this world, but when you come in this truth, all the things that you go, all those things go out the back door, man. You don't worry about the things. What you worrying about is to build your faith up in the things of your spirit, to help you grow, and that brings peace to your life. You know what I'm saying? Living in that way, you know what I'm saying? And we're living with no drama, you know what I'm saying? In our life, peace from having, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to help us grow and staying focused in this truth, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what's important, you know what I'm saying? Because what John 8:32 say, and I'm get a couple more scriptures and close out on that. John 8, let me start at 31, 8 and 31. Then said Yahushua Mashiach, those Jews which believe on him, if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Yeah. And just reading the scriptures bring joy should bring joy to your spirit. Because we separated from this place, you know what I'm saying? And the Most High don't want us to be joined with this place. He don't want you to join hand in hand with the wicked. You know what I'm saying? No, he wants you to separate yourself from this place. And when you do that, then we know, then you know that you're free. You know what I'm saying? And that's verse 32. And ye should know the truth, and the truth should make you free. Yeah. So now we know the truth, and we free from this place, man. You know what I'm saying? Now we understand, you know what I'm saying, the things that we need to think about instead of the things that we don't need to think about. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we have to, let all these things go. You know what I'm saying? And press forward to the mark. Paraphrasing. And that's why we hasten in the day for the downfall of Babylon to fall, because we're tired of this place, man. We're trying to bring in the kingdom of heaven that wants to bring peace in our life. You know what I'm saying? And to know these things that our people have to suffer for centuries, have been suffering for centuries, knowing that this is almost over with, that we don't need to worry about that, Because right now, all we doing is going through hell, sad, pain, and suffering. You know what I'm saying? That's what our people have been going through, And now we know it's almost over, and that what brings more peace to our spirit, man. Knowing that this place is going to be destroyed, man, and we don't need to worry about the things of this world, because all it's going to do is just get you in trouble. And just knowing that we are Israelites, you know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing to know. That puts a smile on your face, you know what I'm saying? That brings joy, you know what I'm saying? And even on top of that, knowing that this place is going to be destroyed, that brings joy to our spirit. So let me read that back again. John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye should know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Yeah. So when you look at the big picture, man, we are free mentally, man. And that brings peace to our spirit. And that's why we're so happy to have this truth, man, in our life. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the things of this world no more. Because now what's important, you know what I'm saying, is right in front of it. And this is that truth, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to close out on this last scripture, Colossians chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. If ye they be risen with the Mashiach, seek those things which are above. And that's what we're doing. We're seeking those things which are above, which nothing on this earth doesn't matter to us anymore. Where Mashiach sit on that right hand of the Most High, yeah. And set your affections on things above and not on things on the earth. So we know that the things on this earth, we're not setting our affections with. We setting our affections with the things above. And we know what is important now. You know what I'm saying? You know, we know that there's truth. If anything on this earth, man, the law, statutes, and commandments, being obedient to the Most High, you know, making sure that we, you know, practicing those to the best of our ability, and everything that we see through the struggles that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. If it's had anything to do with, you know, finances, family, job, you name it, man. You know what I'm saying? What we're doing is we're setting our affections on the things above. And that's why I say this truth brings peace to our soul and our spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this was edifying. You know what I'm saying? To uplift the brother that might be, you know, going through some things. Knowing that we already have the true riches, man. You know what I'm saying? Through this crazy place, this chaotic place, this truth is bringing us peace. And I want to say, call all y'all by Shem Yahushua, by Shem Rakakadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone that rule well to taught us this truth. Peace and blessings to the elect, the Akim on the four corners, preaching this truth, risking their lives each and every day. That hopefully elect the 144,000 prophets today. That great multitude of men, women, and children. The Heavenly Father is gonna have mercy on, and just keep our heads up and keep pushing, man. We almost there, because Babylon is through, and we thank Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom.